Slight problem with the camera, bear with me please. And there we go. Sorry about that. Slight. If it falls, but hopefully you can see it. I'll just move out the way a little bit. So let me adjust that a little bit. I'm a bit rusty. It's been a while since I've done a live. There, that'll do. So I'm just basically going to chat. I've got music playing, so let me know if you can hear it. Welcome if you're new to the channel. Welcome indeed. And we shall see how we go. I did do a stream on YouTube earlier this week, but I had a sore throat, so I couldn't speak. I'm just getting some brushes. So bear with me. Dry brush. What's that one? That is artificial layer. That's layer. Oh, artificer layer. Now, I want all my Warhammer, because today, there we go, I'm going to paint something I have not painted in, well, I've never painted before. These are models that have been sitting on my... Let me know if you can hear the music, by the way, and if it works for you or not. It's a playlist I put together. I use something called Epidemic Music, Epidemic Sound, and I pay an annual subscription, and it allows me to use music throughout the... Rosea, hello, welcome to the Twitch account. Yes, it's been a while since I've done Twitch, but I decided I'm going to give it another go. The first time it didn't really go according to plan, but that was more down to situation than anything else, and I'm just out of camera shot. So I've got my water, I've got a plastic lid as a palette, and you might not see the models as I work on them, but I'm working on Gaunt's Ghosts, and not the plastic miniatures. These are the metal miniatures, so these are very, very early metal miniatures, and I'm just getting rid of the... I had some blue tack underneath to hold them in place whilst I gave them... I originally gave them a spray varnish, not varnish, undercoat. Well, no, these have been sprayed undercoat twice, but the first time it was a gloss sprayed undercoat, so it made them shiny, and I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. So, but is the music changing? There we go. And of course, if I'm not too keen on the track playing, I can just skip it. So, right, I think I shall start with the man himself, because some of these have camo cloaks, and I've never painted camouflage before, so that will be interesting when I get round to painting them. So I will start with Colonel Commissar Ibram Gaunt with the Sword of Hieronymo. Now, I think I will have one of those old pots. Let's see, how's that looking? Elf flesh, that would be good for later. So I think I'll start with his cape. His cape's red. So that's transparent red, so I want a solid base. There we go. Perfect. a bit of tissue to wipe my brushes. So, you know, how's your week been, everyone? If you're watching, I can see the chat on multi-stream. Hasn't actually come up yet, but we'll see how that goes. Hi, today's I'm doing multi-stream, so I may not be able to directly see your comments at the moment because they're not coming up on for some reason. Let me just refresh chat. Ah, there we go. There we go. I can see the YouTube chat now, and I can also see, because I've got the Twitch screen up for chat. So I will rely on my OBS streaming to handle the. That's a bit thin. That's a bit thin. I'm not liking that. Not liking that at all. That's contrast. So I want that a bit later. What's this? Crimson. Ah, good. Crimson. So it's been a while since I've done Twitch, and you know, I thought it was now sort of good time to start sort of getting back into things, because there's going to be some big changes coming in the channel. I'm still going to create content, and you know, but I want to focus more on live streaming than anything else really. I want to do more live streaming and spend more time with you all. It's you know, it's I enjoy making content and I enjoy collaborating with people, but at the same time I want to get, you know, I want to be a bit more open in what I do and share what I enjoy outside of content creation, and live streaming gives me the best of both worlds. You know, I can, for example, right now I'm painting a miniature. There's I don't think you can see that. That's quite dark. The lighting in here isn't the greatest. Just going to swap up my brush to a really fine detailed one, because I want to and anything that looks like it goes wrong is okay, because I can tidy that up. Now I've got a reference picture somewhere I can use. Oh, there we go. The dual stream is working now. Just looking for oh, where's what I'm looking for? No, I don't want to open that. I've just opened a Photoshop, and I don't want to open Photoshop. I want to open just the pictures. I forgot some of these tracks had lyrics. There we go. Preview. Just try. I've lost the picture now. I've lost the picture I'm looking for reference. That's annoying. Somewhere around here. There we go. There we go. Seems I might have painted the cloak wrong, but never mind. It'll make a good base. It'll make a good base because it's better to have a strong colour underneath to start off with. We'll just let that dry. So let's go back to I think I'm going to as well. Oh, this one's nearly at an end anyway, so has to load up the next track. If this one has lyrics, I'll skip this one as well. But a lot of the music that I listen to sort of harks back to my younger days, my youth, you know, and we're talking about 30 odd years, you know, 20, 30 odd years ago now. I mean, I don't feel 40. I really don't feel 40, but you know. It's Where's the Lamy? Where's my Lamy and medium? Oh, it's here. This is like a liquid that just helps you push the paint around a bit easier. So, you know, as I said, I really don't feel like I'm 40 years old. It's, I mean, I feel, you know, I feel like I've literally just gone from being a kid to an adult, you know, in 40 years goes by very quickly, and I guess things like this, you know, hobbies like this, painting Warhammer 40,000 miniatures, very much keeps me youthful, because I've been painting these, I've been doing this since I was a teenager, so you know, I'm what's known as a veteran player, because I've been doing this for so long. I know exactly, Rosea, exactly. It's true, you know. And I think that's what, you know, because a lot of people say I don't look 40, but I guess that's, you know, And some might not say it's a, you know, but you know, I've known one or two people in my past who I should be wearing. Hang on, I know what I need to be wearing. Bet you never thought I'd wear a pair of these. Shall I put them on near the microphone? I've got them the wrong way. Got that one the wrong way round already. Must be. There we go. There's one. Just to stop me getting paint on my fingers. Well, then I'll be honest, my eyes aren't as good as they used to be, but these gloves are definitely not meant for content creation, because they don't have the they don't make the sounds that a lot of synthetic gloves do. But if it prevents me getting paint on my fingers, then I am all for it. Need a bit more paint. Oh. Old habits die hard. So yeah, you know, I've been working on a lot of things behind the scenes recently. The project is getting underway. And if anyone's watching and they've seen my tweets or my post on Instagram or my YouTube story, YouTube post on my community tab, you know, please. Oh, water-based acrylics. Yeah, I don't ever use. I've been using water-based acrylics for let's see, started this hobby when I was 13. That was 90. Since 1997, 1998. Well, no, I would have been 12 in 1997, because that would have been sort of around summer. It was sort of summertime I started. But I've always preferred water-based acrylics because they're easier. They're much more forgiving as a paint. I have painted in oils though. I've done the Bob Ross wet on wet technique, which is quite interesting to do. I might do the faces in crimson, as the faces and hair in crimson as well, because then I can. Now for Bryn Milo with his bagpipes. Lyrics, I think. Actually, I've got a different playlist that I could use. Let's have something a bit different. We're going to change them. See the boot is like a field of landmine. If we don't get the defense in time, the lady in the sky will begin to decline. She swim all their opposite turpentine. So anyway, as I was saying, yeah, you know, I've been quite busy with behind the scenes content, working on new material. I've got some more characters recorded for myself to try and cover the gaps that we have in the collaboration. So I've done a very, very happy guest. I've voiced a disgruntled servant who's quite sarcastic. Who else have I voiced? Obviously Maximus and his manservant Paldrock. They play a big part. Yeah, I find it a very, very forgiving medium, and I use it for airbrushing as well. I find it's better for air, you know, because you can clean your airbrush out with water as well. So it certainly does make a big, big difference. And this one doesn't have a cape, but it does have a beard. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint their faces with this acrylic, because it will make a good base for the flesh tones and the hair. She might have done, but he's fed up with the way Maximus. He's basically fed up with the way Maximus treats all the servants. You know, he's glad that the caravan is coming to an end. The happy guest is in a celebratory mood, because obviously Maximus is. And then I've also done my first all-female character. I voiced a character called Grace. You'll find out more about her later on in the story. Never tried that sort of thing. Well, I have, but only very briefly. But this is a whole character I've portrayed. Who else? Rafik makes a return. He makes an unwelcome return for Maximus. So he's back. Let me have a look and see who anyone's joined us else on Twitch. Not at the moment, but early days. Ooh, how avant-garde. That's going through me, that whistling. You know, the door is open, and if people want to join and they are interested, you know, they know how to find me, because obviously I've put out the message quite a lot. I really do believe in this, in what we're trying, you know, but you can't, you know, life doesn't always work out. It doesn't always work out the way you anticipated, and you just work, you know, you just do what you can. And I'm very grateful to everyone who is helping me out. You know, it really does mean a lot to me. As I say, the project didn't go the way I anticipated, but that's just how it goes, really. You know, you can't force it, and I certainly wouldn't. I just promote. You know, I'm a promoter like Maximus. You know. That's a contrast paint. That's a contrast paint. I need some green. Not quite there yet. Give it a few minutes. But I don't know if you can hear that. No, can't really hear it. But anyway, you know, just sort of making do, really, and filling gaps. But I've been. It does, you know, and I'm very proud of what we've achieved and what everyone has put in. And granted, it's not gone in the direction I anticipated, but I'm happy. I am genuinely happy that, you know, it has gone to a degree how it should have gone. You know, it just, sometimes things don't always work, but you see it through. That's how I've always looked at it. I always see things through. Oh yes, I do need that crimson back, because I need it for the other heads. But you know, such is life. No complaints. I think if I had any, people would have heard them by now, which is always a good sign in my book. You know, I mean, yeah, I have the odd meltdown and shut down, but that's more for me to worry about than anyone else. You know, I think if I had a problem, I would be ranting and raving and all that, and there's no real sort of skip this one. Some of this music is what I'm going to use for video game videos as well. I want to do some more video game content as well. Perhaps introduce some characters that way. yes, I think I'm going to paint his satchel crimson as well, because his satchel's crimson, because they're going to be like a leather, and I want them to have a nice base coat as well. Thing is, it's dark colours on dark colours, because they're all undercoated with a black undercoat. Well, that's I'm very happy to be there for anyone, Rosea. You know, you can always contact me if you ever need someone to talk to. That's the honest truth. I will never turn anyone away who needs to talk, because everyone, you know. I might just do his shirt, because it's going to be white anyway, his shirt. So I might as well do his torso as well. But you know, I'm more than happy to speak to anyone who needs to speak, and I will not turn anyone away. You know, and to add to that, you know, you, like any of my other friends, Rosea, are important, and I want to make sure I'm there for everyone who needs someone to talk to. You know, I may not be able to be there all the time because of time zones and things like that, but I will always respond to messages and comments, and you know, be there for anyone who needs someone to talk to, basically. There we go. And anything that needs tidying up, I'll just tidy up once I've done. And I hope that that you, Rosea, if you're still watching, of course, would like to continue collaborating. I think there's stories we can still create and tell. And work with. I don't think I'll be doing sort of big collaborations any longer, because they're quite complicated to try and organise, and it seems difficult to sort of find the enthusiasm for, you know, big projects. So small projects, 1 or 2 people. There's a couple of other people I'm wanting to work with, Just having a sip of my cola. You know, and we can take it from there, really. Because the thing is, I've got other projects I want to work on as well. There's other aspects and ideas I've got in the pipeline that don't necessarily directly involve YouTube, but it relates to what I create. You know, it basically relates to everything that I do create, and I honestly think that everything we've been doing has huge potential to be adapted into other ways, and that's what I want to do. But I still want to create the world as it is on screen, you know, in audio and visual, because that aspect is still very much a part of me. Just gonna, oh, there we go. You know, I'll always be very involved, you know, in making sure that everyone who sort of takes part feels safe and comfortable, whatever, you know, because I don't want to put people in positions that make them feel, you know, they're doing something they don't want to be part of. You know, I want to make sure that it's all what's that? Oh no, that's I think it is very important that just trying to find the colour I'm looking for. Rust. There we go. That's the colour. You know, I do feel it's very important that when you work with others, that would be absolutely perfect. That would be absolutely fine. And if you wanted to do it for your own channel, you're more than welcome to. You know, I don't hold you know, hold anything. I always say if people want to take their characters and create their own concepts from what we create, they are more than welcome to, because as far as I'm concerned, once I've handed them over, or you know, you've developed them, they're your characters to do with as you wish. So obviously I've sent you Pandora as well, so I don't know how you want to approach Pandora. If you want to, I think I sent you a message today actually on somewhere, and I can't remember, but if you want to discuss anything, you know, please do message me, because I am very open to discussion, and you know, if anything ever causes concern, I want to know, because we can discuss it and work through it. So do please let me know, because I think it is very important that, you know, it's not just, because really the project is not about me, and I don't want it to be about me. I want it to be about everyone that's involved. I think it's very important to me that it's like that, because everyone deserves to be, you know, yes, I'm the host, but I won't tell people what to do. You know, that's why I give 100% free reign and creative freedom, because I think it's very important. That's going on nicely. That's going on really nicely now. You know, and this project being very, very specialised, I think it's important that we do work together, because I want to make sure everything does go sort of smoothly, and that anything that is problematic can be resolved. And I genuinely believe that. I have held that principle since I started my channel. You know, that's, and of course, if people need to back out, I will never pressure them to stay, and the door remains open in the future. They can come and go as they need to. You know, it's not compulsory, or, you know, they're not obligated to, because I don't believe in doing it that way. And I will never treat anyone that way either. Exactly, and I admit that some aspects of it I've become a bit hyper fixated, but, and I think we all know the which part I'm talking about. But to be honest, I've always believed in my ideas, and I think, you know, I know not everyone agrees with me, and I absolutely respect that. You know, I'm not expecting everyone to jump on board with excitement, but at the same time, everyone who does is welcome, is absolutely welcome to join. And, you know, I've created options that help everyone be exactly, and the storytelling side of it has always been a passion of mine, you know, and the ideas that, I guess in a way, I wanted to sort of stand out from the crowd, as it were. You know, I always said from the beginning that I didn't want to be a regular content creator. I didn't want to sort of this track is it's nearly at an end anyway. It's got about, oh, there we go, it ended. yeah, and maybe thinking about it as well, maybe I've been a bit too passionate, you know, maybe I've been a bit too passionate. You sort of, you know, you can, and but the thing is, I have never kept it. I've always made it known. I've never actually, you know, there's been no hidden agenda, no ulterior motive. It's just been all about experimental content creation, you know, experimenting with new ideas, and you know, again, not everyone will agree, and again, I absolutely respect that, you know. I think if we all did the same thing, it would be a bit of a boring world, but at the same time, I think variety. They say variety is the spice of life, and you know, I think I've tried to pep the genre up a little, shall we say? And I don't say that as a brag or anything. And I'm the last person that would do anything like that. But at the same time, I saw a niche, an opening for something that had never been considered in the community, and I thought, why not go for it? You know, what have you got to lose? I mean, granted, I may not have had I may no longer have the sort of contact that I used to have, and again, something I respect. But at the same time, you do honestly wonder if maybe you have taken an idea a bit too far. But at the same time, that's looking, I don't know how well you can see that, but maybe not. The lighting, because the lighting is coming down rather than at an angle. It's not showing up so well. But I'll post photos later on social media so people can see. It's got black hair, but well, exactly, and I kind of hope I've been a bit of a lesson, you know, in a way, you know, whether or not that's a good or bad thing, I don't know, but you know, make of that what you will. But I'm here to support as well as create, so you know. But as I said earlier, I'm not disappointed. I am not disappointed because everything that's happened so far, or up to this point, has been a real pleasure. You know, it's been a real joy to be able to bring my world to life and share it with others, which is what I always wanted to do. To be honest, it's all I wanted to do. and the fact I've had good friends, I've made good friends who have helped me achieve that online is important to me. It's the fact that I actually have shared my world and my characters with everyone, and it's all I ever really wanted to do. I forgot these ones all have bare arms. No, he doesn't. I don't think he does. Nearly sent my paints flying. But in truth, I've learned a lot really about myself, and and I'm sure there's been thoughts and opinions and maybe things said behind this, but to be honest, I feel like life's too short really to be worried about what, if anything, what people think, because at the end of the day, it's an idea, it's a dream, and I'm living it, and granted my channel hasn't grown huge in the 4+ years it's been in existence, but at the same time it's bigger than I ever imagined it would be, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm incredibly thankful for what I've got. I was once told that if I ever had a YouTube channel, I'd be lucky to get a single subscriber, and now I have over 800 subscribers. So at the end of the day, being told years ago I'd be lucky if I got a single subscriber, and here I am with over 800, really does make a big difference. My Twitch channel is still very, very small, but I hope to do more of these dual streams on Twitch and on YouTube in future. So at the end of the day, it's all a string to my bow, really. I'm gonna let him settle. That's the black. I'll need that later. Now, we'll go for this dark green. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. That can. This dark green that I'm using is going to be for the capes. I'm still kind of working on the capes. Hey, it's still a milestone, it's still very important, because it's a testament to how much work you've put into your channel and your content, and that should not be I did that was for another video game video. But you know, because I did a sort of get to know. I should really do another get to know me, really. Even if I don't get to 1,000, I think I ought to do another one, because it's been 4 years since I started my channel, so you know, I doubt I'll ever get to 1,000, to be honest. It would be nice, but you know, I mean, I very much doubt I'll ever be monetized either. You know, I don't get enough of the viewing hours, so but that's okay. That's okay. You know, I've got my channel, I've got my friends, I've got my content, you know, it's and of course my hobbies and things, and actually that's looking all right. That green on that sort of pinkish brown, I don't know how well you can see that. It looks a bit grey. Just looking at it on screen, and it looks a bit grey, but we'll have that fixed soon. But you know, it's and I can't. Do you know, the weird thing is, I can't really remember how my idea came forward, how I actually came up with the idea for the concept of. I mean, Maximus was always sort of he's not so much a villain now as an anti-hero. You know, he's not. He's still quite villainous, but he's more of a. He's become more of a main character, if you will, and he, you know, his scheming, but his sort of ideas and things obviously came from other concepts and things, and I think I've just always had a thought of sort of a travelling show. I mean, chapter 7 of the main story, as it was, introduced the troop, which is where Maximus was actually introduced. You know, he started out as he wasn't going to become such a major character, but he very much kind of latched on to me, and I grew very much to like him as a character, and I wanted to do more with him, and I thought, well, what could he do? I thought, well, why not have his own travelling show, but have it so it's something like the community has never seen before. And I think, I mean, obviously originally we had Shy in she that character never actually appeared in chapter 7 because the content creator who performed her originally had to withdraw. I still have the video, but and I think she's uploaded it to her channel, Miss T. Jodie Marie came in very kindly as Arundella last minute and sort of stepped in and took on the role. And if you know my friend Graham, if you are watching, Graham, hello, big shout out to you. He is a big advocate of my content, and he's working on his own sort of offshoot of... He's kind of become sort of a caretaker of Arundella for me. I personally won't be, haven't any sort of... I think mainly because Jodie is very busy these days, so I don't want to put pressure on her, or but everyone who's been part of my work in the past, it's always welcome to return and sort of reprise their roles, or much like you have, Rosea, with Iris, which I'm very, very happy to include. Fortunately. If the lighting in here gets too bad, I will put a stop to this. I guess though, if he's playing bagpipes, they should be sort of brown as well. They should be that sort of browny colour, because they need to be leather. There we go. Funnily enough, I have what's called contrast paints, which are like... Oh, hang on, why was I showing it to that screen over there? Never mind. This is a contrast paint. It's like a wash, but what it will do is it will flow over the folds of the capes, and it will sort of highlight and contrast the capes. So, and these capes are supposed to be camo cloaks anyway, so they're supposed to be camouflage cloaks. So I've got Militarum green and Nasdreg yellow, but I want to do but you are correct, I want to do a lighter colour first, and I think for that I want Athonian Camo Shade, that's the other one. Black Legion for other parts. So I've got a huge box here full of paints. Agrax Earth Shade, I want that. That's a shade for later. So, snakebite leather, that's for the leather. Elf flesh for the flesh tones. Don't want magenta. Don't want red. Oh no, that's mask. Don't want mask. What's that? Copper. Don't want copper. Khaki. There we go. Khaki. Need to give that a bit of a shake. Yeah, these are Warhammer. These are Games Workshop paints, so they sort of name them in relation to characters and. This one is called Nuln Oil, and in Warhammer Fantasy, Nuln was a city, Nuln, so it was a city in the old fantasy world. I mean, I've got Blood Angels red. Blood Angels are a Space Marine chapter in Warhammer 40,000. And Doomfire magenta is in relation to a dragon in the fantasy world. So it's quite interesting how they come up with the names. But this one is just khaki because this one is not. It's actually called khaki grey. It's actually by a company called Flames of War, which do World War II tabletop wargaming. But I don't do. But I've got paints from all sorts of different companies that, you know, it doesn't bother me where my paint comes from, as long as it's colours I use a lot of, then I'm fine with it. You know, it all works on the models and. I mean, it's called khaki grey, but it's sort of a sandy colour. It's not so much sand, you know. It's not so much grey as sort of like a desert yellow. I might as well have called it desert yellow. But this is something I'm going to do as a wash. I've watered it right down, and I'm going to do it as a. Yeah. I mean, a lot of the names of places in my world don't actually come from my imagination. They are original names. There aren't. Sometimes it's words I've misspelt, or it's because of words I've misspelt or mispronounced, which is always very interesting to explore. You know, happy accidents, as Bob Ross used to say, because if you misspell a word or mispronounce a word, it becomes I can't remember the origins. some of the Desert Realm cities are named after sort of Gebelra. That there was a video game I used to play called Keitha on the CDI, on the Philips CDI, and that had places. I'm going to change this music because this is actually now getting a little bit. Let's go back to something a bit more. This music's been fun, but it does. You kind of want something a bit more. Granted, that's a bit more. Yes. This is the soundtrack I play when I'm writing, because I find it really. Inspirational. This is my Lord of War and Heartache music playlist. Find a good track to. Good job. It says looking for a. I think that's looking a bit better. You can see it now. You can sort of see the yellow. So it's looking a bit more. Looking a bit sharper. But most of this music is all sort of medieval inspired, because obviously my world is set in a sort of medieval fantasy realm. It's that's why I went for fantasy, because anything goes, and you can have anything in a fantasy realm. You can create whole. Well, I have. I mean, we've not even scratched the surface of the Antius Empire, which existed before the Ondarian monarchy. That lasted for about 50,000 years, the Antius Empire, before its fall and the rise of the monarchy. So hopefully be able to cover some of that if anyone's interested in portraying some Roman-like characters. We'll have to see how that goes. But at the moment, I'm sort of trying to finish off this big collaboration, and I have said the closing date is the 12th, but obviously if any latecomers arrive, I will be very flexible to giving them time to create if they wish to. You know, there's no pressure or hurry. Yeah, that's pretty much how I've done it in the. That's going to be a slightly different brown. Everything, you know, everything that I've sort of blushed. Oh, it's a very quiet track, that's why. Actually, wearing gloves to paint makes it easier to get the lids off these paints. See, this sort of music that's playing is what I call Ondarian. I have different identities for each type of music I hear, and I sometimes refer to music as Ondarian if it sounds sort of medieval and I've got Desert Realm music as well, what I call Desert Realm music. That's the bag of the bagpipe painted. Next up, see, some of this music I'd have playing in the background of the taverns and the houses of the nobles, because I think maybe the more raucous music I'd have playing in the background of the taverns. This would very much be sort of in the nobles' houses. There we go. And wow, that's impressive. That's impressive. Yeah, I've got loads of artwork, probably more artwork than I have sort of. I've got loads of scripts, some undone, some not even completed, you know, some not even performed. But you know, that's. And of course, you know, I want to obviously continue working with Gwyn on Cleo and Trajan, so I still find they still play a huge role in my world, Cleo and Trajan, and I do feel it's very important that their story continues, because they are very important characters to us both. It's just that at the moment I've been suffering from writer's block, creator's block for certain aspects, and I think there's some bits and pieces I still have to get finished. I mean, there's Gwyn and I did a piece called Ophelia I can't say it. Ophelia the Remembrancer, which I still need to finish editing and putting together. But oh wow, I'm liking that idea. So I keep forgetting they all have. Sometimes if tracks are a bit too quiet, that's a bit too. Bit of the desert realm. Bit of the desert realm now. Oh, cool. Yeah. So as you can tell, that a lot of the music I have sort of influences my writing and sort of paves the way for character creation and things like that. So I mean, obviously, if anyone ever wants some of this music, I've got it downloaded, so I'm always happy to send it over as MP3. But I'd need to send you the copyright because that one's a bit quiet. That one's a bit quiet. No, that one's... Oh no, that one's not too bad. Mopping. This would be in a tavern. This would be in a tavern. Yes, it would. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. We do need to talk about that a bit more. Yeah, that's a track I'd have playing in the taverns. That would be brilliant. Yes, please. Bit more Desert Realm now. I mean, you can almost imagine the sort of people sort of travelling across the desert. Okay, yeah. Hmm. Don't know. Don't think I know that one. I'll have to look it up. But you'll find on this playlist on the website that I'm on at the moment, I have a lot of sort of music like that saved on this playlist because it's my writing playlist, my inspiration playlist, as I call it. Okay, I will check that out. Just let that dry a little bit. I'm going to do his leather next. What is that? Oh, that's actually called leather. That's perfect. That's what we want. Do the straps, the wristbands, I'll do the bagpipes. Haven't done the flesh tones yet. Some of these bits will just be painted straight up leather, so they've got no base colour whatsoever. This track always makes me think of the old BBC News before it. That's okay, Rosea. Thank you for being here. I wish you a very good night. And we'll see you again soon. The sash, I've just realised I haven't done Gaunt's sash, but I will get that done. If I don't get this all painted tonight, then I think that's okay, because I can always finish it. The light is getting a bit, but as long as I've got the bulk of the base work done, that's what's important. And if anything, it will give certain levels of paint a chance to dry. Me, I am painting Warhammer 40,000 miniatures. I've got gloves on to keep the paint off my fingers. I'm painting the original metal miniatures of Gaunt's Ghosts of the Tanith First and Only, which is my favourite Imperial Guard regiment. I'm working on the camo cloaks at the moment and building up colours as I go. Pretty much dry, so we can go on to the next stage. but I'm also painting the leather colours as well, and sort of doing a lot of base coating and layering of the camo cloaks, so that, and I used a lot of dark, I tend to paint with a lot of dark colours as a base, and then build up from there. So it's how I like to work with my miniatures. And I like to work with a small brush as well, so so I've just done all the leather work, I think. Don't think I've missed any leather. Doesn't look like it. Nope, that's fine. That's looking good. I'm also dual streaming on Twitch as well. It's a bit quieter over there, but that's okay. It's just making sure everything's working and doing all right, really. That's the important thing. And it's all sort of because I want to do more, so that I can tidy up later. Next contrast colour I'll use is Nasdreg Yellow. I've used Militarum Green, and I've got Camo Shade afterwards to use. A very dark mustard yellow. Interesting, this will be interesting. Ooh, it is dark. A bit more. I like that. I like that. I'll do Camo Shade as the third layer. So that is looking good. I am satisfied with that. Obviously I don't do painting tutorials or anything because my setup doesn't allow me to take people through how I paint my miniatures, but I thought if I come on and chat and, you know, have something to do, it helps me focus, it helps me to think. And obviously with a bit of music playing in the background as well, if there is any awkward silence, which strangely enough there hasn't been tonight. I've been feeling pretty good. I've kind of enjoyed streaming tonight. It's been very pleasant. Yes, as a matter of fact, it is. I'm painting Tanith First and Only, um, Imperial Guard. I'm building a Tanith First and Only Vervenhive Guard army based on the Dan Abnett novel Necropolis. And the kind of inspiration I've taken for my army is, because it's Vervenhive, I've sort of taken more of a Necromunda sort of vibe to my army. Obviously, this what I'm painting at the moment is, I mean, there's the man himself under they need tidying up, but there's Colonel Commissar Ibram Gaunt with the Sword of Hieronymo, because I don't have the plastic Gaunt's ghosts. I have the original metal miniatures. They've been sitting in my cupboard for years, and I've always wanted to do a Tanith First and Only army, and with the coming of the new Imperial Guard, see, I still call it Imperial Guard. I've been playing and painting Warhammer 40,000 since I was 13. I'm 40 now, 40. So I've been playing for well over 13, 23, 33, 27 years. Yeah. So I've seen a lot change in Games Workshop and Warhammer. I'm an old world player. I've got a 3,000 point dwarfs army, so I'll be playing dwarfs of the mountain holds in the old world. I don't do Age of Sigmar, but I never got rid of my dwarfs army, because obviously I had a few friends who still played Warhammer Fantasy Battles, and to be honest, I'm very glad I didn't, because of the old world. There's a few units I do need to get. I never got first time round, I never got Iron Breakers, Iron Drakes, and I've only got 7 Slayers, so I do need to get some more Slayers, and obviously a unit of 20 Iron Breakers and 20 Iron Drakes. But I've got pretty much every other unit in the army. I haven't got an Anvil of Doom. I have not got an Anvil of Doom, but that's something I could consider. Have I done that one? I think I have done that one, yes. Bryn Milo next with his bagpipes. See, Bryn Milo with his bagpipes will count as my army standard in the game, so I can use him, because obviously he's not in the plastic set. I've got Colm Corbeck, of course, who's in the plastic set, but I've also got the medic, and I can't remember his name, but I've always been a fan of Gaunt's Ghosts. Dan Abnett, to me, is one of the best Warhammer 40,000 writers, and well, yes, yeah, absolutely. I've got, I mean, I haven't got many units painted at the moment. I've got 3 Bullgrins, 3 Sentinels, and they're the ones before the new ones came out. They're armed with las cannons, because I mean, I've got built las cannon heavy squad, 2 las cannon heavy squads, 2 mortar heavy squads, 3 sentinels with las cannons, Bullgrins, mobile artillery batteries, the one with the 12 barreled rocket launcher and the long range cannon, because I don't have tanks in my army. I'm working on Rough Riders using Atalan Jackals from the Gene Stealer cults. So I've now got Rough Riders on bikes. They need to be painted up. I have got Atalan Rough Riders on horseback as well, which need to be painted up. I've never painted horse riders before, so that will be interesting. I'm thinking of doing my Atalan horse riders in sort of colours of Napoleonic era uniforms, but each one will be wearing different colours. So one might be painted in the colours of Prussia, one might be painted in the colours of Britain, France. You know, to give the unit a bit of variety, so they all look, because they're supposed to be the riders of the governor. They're not the planetary governor, because it's more of a planetary defence force than a full-blown Imperial Guard army, but it still counts as Gaunt's Ghosts because of the HQ choices I'm taking. So, you know, it's a lot of consideration has been put into it. I really do want to build upon it. I'm going to leave the medic for now because I want to focus. Right, camo shade. Where is... No, that's Black Legion. Ah, there we go. Athonian camo shade. And I've never worked with contrast paints before. This is the first time, because obviously I don't just use Games Workshop paints. I use a variety of brands to paint my models, because sometimes you can't always get the colour you want. And well, I am a content creator on YouTube, and I try to be. I'm not always this calm. But painting brings me joy. I'm also a amateur script writer and voice actor. I have my own channel on YouTube, on Darian Citizen. Maximus Volkov, which is my username on here, is actually my favourite character who I voice over on that channel. He's a bit of a rogue. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All newcomers are always welcome. I've got some projects in the works, and I don't just. It's not just me. I involve my friends as well from other platforms and social media. So please do have a wander over, and I'm actually over there live at the moment. I'm actually doing two lives at the same time. Thank you, but no thank you. Oh. I seem to have gone into mod mode. And I'm not sure how to get back. If anyone's wondering on YouTube, I mean, I've gone into mod mode on Twitch, and I'm not sure how to get back to oh, we'll just stick with it for now. That's fine. I can still see the chat, and I can deal with that later. There we go. Oh, that's looking grand. I like that. I like that a lot, how that's come out. That's looking... I probably won't be streaming for much longer, to be honest. I mean, I've been going for over 2 hours, so in all honesty, I will probably call it a night, because it is 20 to 10 at night here in Britain. For those who are just joining, I am British, and I try and stream regularly, and I'd like to get back to doing regular streams on Twitch as well. I will probably be doing more Warhammer 40,000 painting or model making as part of it, because it's actually helped me focus during this stream, because sometimes if I don't have focus, I become quite agitated and really lose my train of thought. But being able to paint and, you know, communicate at the same time has really been a boon. I've really enjoyed it, to be honest. The light's getting... I'm now gone into artificial light because it's dark outside, and it's beginning to... so I will probably call it a day, to be honest. Just get this last camo cloak finished. Well, it's not quite finished, but, you know, close enough to being finished that I could finish it later. I might even come back and finish these live tomorrow during the day if people are around. You know, always welcome to come join me and see what I'm up to. Yeah, I think on that note, I am going to call it a night. I'm going to pack these away and finish these up. Maybe live tomorrow, so we can do it all again. Just give my brush a quick wash. I would like to say thank you very much to everyone who joined me this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been a lot of fun, and I will see you again very soon. Thank you very much for joining.